Hello my dear students, in today's class let us learn the part 3 of metals and non-metals. In metals and non-metals you are going to learn about the occurrence of the metal, extraction of the metal, about roasting and calcination, meaning of the minerals and the ores, and also thermite process, corrosion. All these points will be covered in this lesson. Okay, so come to the first point, occurrence of the metals. So before going to study about the occurrence of the metals, you have studied already about the reactivity series. So in the reactivity series, you have seen it is written in the decreasing order. So many elements are there here. So these elements are divided into three parts according to their reactivity. So the topmost elements are there. So potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium. So the topmost elements are highly reactive. That's why we cannot get the pure metal from this, or we cannot extract the metals either by roasting or calcination or by reduction. We have to extract these metals only through electrolysis. Okay, electrolysis is the process of extraction of the metal. So electrolysis is the method which we use for the highly reactive metal. Then the second one here comes moderately reactive metals. So these moderately reactive metals contains, that means these moderately reactive metals will occur for us in the form of the carbonate, sulfide or oxide ores. So these metals occurs in the form of the sulfide ore, oxide ore or carbonate ore. That you have to remember. Sulfide ore, oxide ore or carbonate ore. This will be attached. See here Zn. We get Zn in the earth crust in the form of ZnCO3. That means zinc carbonate. And also we get copper in the form of copper sulfide. Here we have to remove carbonate and get zinc. That means we have to extract zinc from zinc carbonate which occurred in the earth crust. In the same way, we have to get copper from copper sulfide. We are extracting the copper from copper sulfide. Sulfide is the impure substance which is present along with the it is mixed with the copper. That's why we have to remove the sulfur and we have to extract the copper. So in this one we have to purify the copper. So in this way the extraction process will take place. Many steps are there in extraction. So here silver, gold, platinum, these are the metals or the elements which occur in the free state. So we can use in the pure form it occurs. So it does not have affinity with the other element, or it will not react with the air also. That's why it occurs in the free state. Which are the elements which occur in free states? If they ask, gold, silver and platinum, or gold and platinum also you can write. So these occurs in the native state or free state. Then come to the occurrence of the metals. So how does it occur? It occurs in the form of the ore. That means along with the impurities it occurs. The best example here we can take is green leaves. So we bring to prepare sambar, green leaves, coriander, spinach, all these kinds of the green leaves we bring to cook sambar. So as soon as we brought from the shop, we won't put into the sambar. What we will do? We will sort out. We will clean it and then we wash, because the sand particles, soil particles will be there in the leaves. That's why we will wash it. After washing, we will cut into small pieces and then use it for sambar. In the same process here also, we get ores. First, what we get in the earth crust, we get ore. So from that ore, we are going to extract the metal. So what is ore? What is mineral? You have to study here. Define mineral, define ore. They may ask the question. That's why. So first I am going to tell you about the mineral. Mineral is nothing but it is an element or the compound which occurs in the nature. Or it occurs naturally in the earth crust, you can say. Okay, Mineral is an element or the compound which occurs naturally in the earth crust. You can write that for that is the definition for mineral. Coming to the part of the ore. So I have written ore here. The meaning of the ore I have written here. So metals which is profitably extracted. That means in that mineral there is ore. So in that mineral ore is there. So we can profitably extract that metal. Some particular, see here, some substance is there mixed with the other substance, but the quantity, for example, iron is there. So sulfide, oxide, all these other elements are also attached to this. But the more amount is iron, and it is also profitable. That's why we extract the iron and we leave the other elements which had affinity with that iron. So here ore, the meaning of the ore here written, metals which is profitably extracted from the mineral. So mineral already naturally occurring element in the earth crust is called mineral, and from that mineral we are going to extract the metal profitably, and that is called as ore. Okay, that is the meaning of ore. Now come to the part of the roasting and calcination. Afterwards let us see. So let us see the steps of extraction of ore. Which are the steps involved in the extraction of the ore? Already I told you. We get ore either in the form of sulfide, oxide or carbonate. Okay. So here in this lesson what they have given I am explaining. So in this lesson the ore contains the sulfide, oxide or carbonate. So all these we have to remove and extract the pure metal. Okay. So here we are having ore here. Okay. Ore. This I will rub. Okay. See here. What do we have? We have ore. So first what we have to do? Concentration of the ore. We have to do concentration of the ore. I told previously that as soon as we bring the green leaves we want to use it. So in the same way here also, as soon as we get the ore we want to take the metals. So it has to proceed for concentration of the ore. So many processes are there here. Okay. So ore contains impurities. Ore contains impurities, as like the green leaves contain sand and soil. No? In the same way ore is also containing sand and the soil, and that impurity is called as gangue. They call it as gangue. See here, gangue particles. What are gangue particles? The impurities like soil, sand present in the ore is called gangue. We have to remove the gangue from the, see here, after the concentration we will sort out whether it is a highly reactive metal in that concentrated ore. The ore contains the highly reactive metal or the moderately reactive metal or low reactive metal. We will sort out, because which method we have to use or we have to follow. No, that's why they are going to sort out here. See, we have ore that contains gangue particle. With the help of the concentration of the ore, we remove the gangue particles. Understanding the lesson? I think so. So then, concentration of the ore, we get concentrated ore, and we divide the concentrated ore according to their reactivity. So if it is highly reactive metal, we will sort out here. This is moderately reactive. These are low reactive metals. Okay. Let's know about the highly reactive metal. So highly reactive metals will be extracted through electrolysis method. Okay. Electrolysis method. Then we will get the pure metal. We will get pure metal. Okay. So this electrolysis method later on you will come to know. So highly reactive metals will be extracted by the electrolysis method. After the electrolysis we will get the pure metal. So though we concentrate the ore, it also contains the impurities called not only sand and soil. Here I told gangue particle is nothing but the sand, soil present here. So not only sand and soil, I told already, sulfide ore might be there, or oxide ore is there, carbonate ore is there. All these ores are all these elements we have to remove in this process. Okay. Here after the concentration we get the concentrated ore, divided the Metal divided the elements according to their reactivity series. Here highly reactive elements will come, that will be purified with the help of the electrolysis. Then come to the moderate. So in these moderately reactive elements, we will get two types. One ore contains carbonate. One is the carbonate ore, another one is the sulfide ore. Okay. So in the medium or moderately reactive metal, there are two types here: carbonate ore and sulfide ore. This carbonate ore will be they will remove this carbonate ore from the metal through the calcination. Calcination is the process. They will ask, what is calcination? What is roasting? There are two methods here: calcination and roasting. To remove these sulfide ore, oxide ore. For example, I told zinc sulfate, zinc carbonate. See here, we want zinc. Along with that, what is there? Carbonate is there. So that carbonate we have to remove. How to remove? We have to use one process. That process is called calcination. Okay, that process is called calcination. So calcination is a process to remove the carbonate ore in the presence of on heating with the excess of highly heating. So we have to heat it more. So on heating in the absence of air or in the presence of less amount of air. That is very important. You see the difference between calcination and roasting. You have to see here. So once again I will tell. See here, in the moderate reactivity series, we will get two types of ores. That means carbonate ore and so copper sulfide, CuS, carbonate ore and sulfide ore. This is carbonate ore and sulfide ore. So this carbonate ore will be removed with the help of the process known as calcination. What is calcination? Calcination is a process in which carbonate ore will be removed or converted. Carbonate ore will be converted into oxide ore. Carbonate ore will be converted directly. They won't remove carbonate. First it converts into oxide. Later on another process is there to remove the oxide. Okay. So calcination is the process in which carbonate ore will be converted into oxide ore in the presence of high amount of the heat and with the less amount of air. Okay, less amount of oxygen. That means in the presence of on high heating with the less oxygen. This arrow mark you see, air. Very less amount of the air it takes, high amount of the heat it takes. That is called calcination. So calcination means carbonate ore will be converted into oxide ore on heating in the absence of air or with the less amount of air, you have to say for calcination. Okay, why less amount of the air, or sometimes oxygen is not required in calcination? If they ask that question, because see here in the carbonate only there is more amount of oxygen. That's why oxygen may be required, that too with the less amount, or may not be required. Okay, so this is calcination. Coming to the part of the roasting, they will ask, very important. Calcination and roasting is very important. They may ask in the exam. So here roasting is a process in which sulfide ore, see here calcination, if I say calcination means a sulfide ore, calcination means carbonate, C, you can remember. Okay, carbonate ore is converted into oxide ore in the presence of heat with the less amount of air. Okay, so high amount of the heat is required with the less amount of oxygen or air. And roasting is nothing but sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore. Okay, roasting is the process in which sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore in the presence of lot of heat with the high amount of air. Okay, here less amount of air is required, here high amount of air is required, with a lot amount of air is required, because here oxygen is not there. Here oxygen is already there, so less amount of the air is required, or no air is required sometimes. Okay, so this is called as roasting. See here, sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore. Okay, oxide of metal. Sulfides of metal is converted into oxides of metal. Carbonate also. Carbonate is converted into oxide. Here sulfide is converted into oxide. Okay. So carbonate is converted into oxide through calcination. Sulfide is converted into oxide through roasting. Okay. Calcination and roasting you have to remember. Very, very important. Then come to the next part. What will happen? Again, the ore contains oxygen. No, the ore contains oxygen. So here they will use, see here, coke. They will use coke to reduce. For example I will give you and then explain so that you will understand. I will take up that example so that you will understand much better than this. So, okay, I'll rub this. See here, I am having one ore, that is zinc. I am having the ore of zinc which contains the carbonate as impurity. I have to remove carbonate. So what I am going to do? I am going to convert it into oxide ore with the help of calcination. Carbonate, calcination. Sulfide, roasting. Okay. Calcination. It is undergoing what? Calcination. Calcination with the high amount of, what is calcination? High amount of the heat with the less amount of air. Okay. High amount of heat with the less amount of air. I am producing this zinc carbonate to the process of calcination. Here carbonate ore is going to convert into oxide ore. So zinc carbonate after the calcination is converting into zinc oxide ore. Carbonate ore is converted into oxide ore. Okay. So that is called calcination. That's all. Carbonate ore is converted into oxide ore in the presence of the heat and air. Less amount of air you have to write. Don't forget that one. So that process is called calcination. Still, this zinc contain oxygen as the impurity. That also we have to remove. How to remove? We have to reduce this. Okay, on reduction with the help of the coke. Coke acts as a reducing agent over here. Okay, which is the reducing agent used in the zinc oxide. They may ask that. Okay, to extract the zinc from the zinc oxide, which is the reducing agent used here. They may ask coke. You have to write coke is the reducing agent. It is the reducing agent which reduces zinc oxide to zinc. Now we got zinc, but in this process what we extracted, that zinc, is 90% pure, not 100%. In this process what we got, zinc is 90% pure, and this zinc on electrolysis we will get 100% pure zinc. Okay, so this is the process of extraction of zinc from zinc carbonate with the help of the calcination and reduction. Hope you all have understood this one. So this one they have divided into two parts in the textbook. What they have done, till here they have given, and from here they have written here. You can write in one line also, or you can take this ZNO again. This ZNO comes here, then the same thing, reduction, zinc. So like this, two reactions they have given. Instead of two, I have written here one. Okay. So this is the extraction of zinc from zinc carbonate. How do you extract zinc from zinc carbonate? If they ask, you have to write. So here, if you know the reactions, it will be easy. You can write your own sentence. Okay. Once again, I will explain. You see, we get zinc in the form of the zinc carbonate. Carbonate is the impurity present in the zinc. We have to remove carbonate. So to remove the carbonate, we are going to introduce zinc carbonate under the process known as calcination. Calcination is the process in which carbonate ore of the zinc will be converted into oxide ore in the presence of high amount of the heat and less amount of the air. Then we get zinc oxide. In the zinc oxide also, oxygen is there as impurity. That impurity also we have to remove. To remove that impurity, we have to introduce this to the reduction process. So here coke is used as a reducing agent which reduces oxygen from the zinc oxide. Okay, then we get zinc. The zinc which we get from through all these process is having 90% purity. So to get 100% purity of the zinc, we have to introduce it into the electrolytic refining. Okay, so this is the process of extraction of zinc from zinc carbonate. Hope you all are understanding the lesson. So this is the process of extraction. So they will ask, explain the process of extraction of zinc from zinc carbonate. That is carbonate, calcination. You have to remember that. Then come to the next one. They have given, see here, mercuric sulfide. Mercuric sulfide is the ore which is also called as cinnabar. So a cinnabar is the ore of mercury. You have to remember. Write the ore of mercury. If they ask, cinnabar it is. So what is that? Cinnabar is the ore of mercury. Hg means mercury. Okay. Here we get mercury in the earth crust in the form of sulfide. Okay, in the form of sulfide. We got zinc in the form of carbonate. I told already. We may get in the form of carbonate or sulfide or oxide. I told. So here mercury we get in the form of sulfide. So that sulfide ore will be removed. That means the impurity of that sulfide is removed by introducing that cinnabar into the process known as roasting. Okay. So they will introduce that too for the process called as a roasting. What will happen in the roasting? Here this mercuric sulfide will be heated. With a high amount of heat will be introduced with the lot of air, because there is no air here. You see, oxygen is not there here. So with a high amount of the air and more amount of heat, they are going to heat. Okay. So mercuric sulfide on roasting converts into mercuric oxide. For sulfide ore is converted into oxide ore. That is called roasting. Okay. In the presence of high amount of air and oxygen, high amount of air and lot of heat is required in this process. So sulfide ore is converted into oxide. There also, here also I already written here. See, carbonate ore first converted into oxide. Oxide is converted into the pure form. Okay. So in the same way here, but here what I told, reducing agent we used. Okay. There we use the reducing agent, but here just by heating, we have to heat. Just by heating itself will get reduced. Okay, this oxygen will be reduced or removed. The oxygen we are going to remove, or it is just by heating it will reduce the oxygen and we get mercury. Okay, we get mercury. So this is the process. See here. In this mercuric sulfide, that means we are getting mercury from the mercuric sulfide. First it is converted into oxide and then reduced. On reduction we get this. But here in the zinc carbonate we use the reducing agent, coke as a reducing agent, but here there is no agent here. Okay, reducing agent is not there here. Just by heating itself it reduces. Okay, that you have to remember. Then come to the next one. They have given copper sulfide. Copper sulfide they have given. This reaction you may write in the in one line, or you may write in the two lines. Okay, so full as it is in the textbook you can write. You can practice, but the main thing is you have to understand this. Sulfide ore will be converted into oxide ore. On reduction, we will get pure metal element. Okay, and also cinnabar. You have to remember the ore of mercury is cinnabar. That is the cinnabar's formula HgS. Okay. Then come to the next one. Copper. Copper also occur either in the form of the sulfide ore or oxide ore. Okay. Copper occurs either in the form of the Cu2O. Okay, either in the form of the sulfide or in the form of the copper. So here sulfide ore I will show you. Here also sulfide ore roasting. Here also sulfide ore, it undergoes roasting. What it undergoes? Roasting. What do you mean by roasting? With a lot of with more amount of the air it will be heated. Sulfide ore will be converted into what? Oxide ore, Cu. It converts into sorry. It converts into oxide ore. Again they are going to heat this. Again they are going to heat this. It will reduce. Here and here there is no reducing agent. Okay. In mercury, while extracting the mercury and the copper, there are no reducing agent used. But in carbonate ore, they use the reducing agent. Okay. And there is more affinity of the oxygen with the zinc. That's why here a reducing agent they have used. Here just by heating they will reduce the oxygen. So by heating again by heating oxygen will get reduced and we will get the copper. Okay, we will get the copper. So in this way we are going to extract either the mercury from the mercuric sulfide or cinnabar, or copper from the copper sulfide, zinc from the zinc carbonate. Okay, so even they have given this occurs, copper occurs in the form of the oxide ore also. Just by heating we will get copper. Just by heating itself it reduces and we will get the copper. Okay, so like this we are going to extract these metals from their ore. Hope you all are understanding the lesson. So this is the extraction of metal they have given. In this extraction of the metal, you have to remember what? You have to remember the meaning of mineral, the meaning of the ore, roasting meaning, calcination meaning, how the process of extraction, occurrence of the metal. Okay, it occurs in the nature, in the earth crust, that is called a mineral. So like that you have to remember the definition and also the method of extraction I told. So sulfide will be converted into oxide and then on reductions we get carbonate will be converted into oxide and then it will be we will get the metal element by reduction. So like this we are going to extract that they have given. I had written in single reaction, single step I had written. There they have given the double step. Either you can write the single step or the double step. I have merged everything and written in the single sentence. Okay, so now let us pass on to thermite process. Okay, in this lesson thermite process, corrosion, all these points are there. So let us see thermite process. Just a minute. Now let me pass on to the thermite reaction. So before going to the refining of the metals, so they have given about a thermite process which is very important. Roasting, calcinations, as it is important I told. So more than that it is very important, thermite reaction. What is thermite reaction? It is an exothermic reaction, highly exothermic reactions between metal and metal oxide. Okay, so an exothermic reaction between metal and metal oxide is known as thermite reaction. So define thermite reaction and write its uses they ask. So you have to write the reaction also if needed, or thermite definition you can write. See what will happen in thermite reaction. Let us see. So thermite reaction, all of you can write. The thermite reaction is an exothermic reaction between metal and metal oxide. The thermite reaction is a reaction which is highly exothermic. Okay, the thermite reaction is an exothermic reaction between metal and metal oxide. So let me see here, metal I told, it is the reaction between the metal and the metal oxide I told. So here So here I have written, see here, metal written, aluminium. Aluminium is taken as a metal here and iron oxide is taken as a metal oxide, okay. So when the aluminium reacts with iron oxide, that means it reduces, aluminium reduces oxygen from the iron oxide, okay. So then aluminium become aluminium oxide and iron is free from oxygen here, okay. So aluminium is going to reduce oxygen, that means it removes the oxygen from iron oxide, ferrous oxide, okay. So here we get the free molten state iron. In the molten state, iron we get in the molten state, that is a little bit in the liquid type. So we get in the molten state this iron. So which is and also it is a exothermic. I told lot amount of heat is also produced over here. That's why this molten iron is used in welding. So what are the uses of thermite reaction? They may ask. Thermite reaction is used for welding and in the connections of the to connect the railways. So railway haligalanna connect madudu, that they will say. So to connect the railways, railway track. So to connect the railway track and also metal refining. So what is define thermite process? Write the reaction involved in it and what are the uses of thermite reaction. This is the question which is very important that you have to learn. So thermite reaction is nothing but it is the reaction which is highly exothermic between metal and metal oxide, you can say. So here iron oxide reacts with the aluminium. Aluminium reduces oxygen from the iron oxides. So we get iron, free iron in the form of the molten state with a lot amount of heat. So that molten iron will be used in welding and also in connecting the railway tracks and in metal refining, okay. So this is regarding thermite reaction. Now let us pass on to the refining of metals. So I told already, from the zinc carbonate, zinc oxide, then zinc we took. So that zinc is not 100% pure, that is 90% of pure. So we have to introduce that into the refining process. So this is the refining process. In this refining process, copper, so from the copper oxide or copper sulfide or zinc from the zinc carbonate or nickel, silver, gold, all these we can refine. All this we can refine in this process. So what is there in the process means here one tank is there. So electrodes, they have introduced electrodes. One is the cathode, another one is the anode. So in the anode you have to remember impure metal will be taken in the anode and the pure thin metal, a thin sheet of the pure metal will be taken at the cathode, okay. Impure metal will be taken in the anode, thin sheet of the pure metal will be taken in the cathode. And passing, and also metal salts will be taken. For example, copper if we take copper sulfate, silver if we take silver nitrate, that is metal salt. So we will take the metal salt solution, in the form of the solution we take. And passing the electric current, here this is the impure metal, the pure metal will get dissolved. See, from the impure metal, the what is there? Pure metal is there in this, but it is impure. The pure metal will dissolve in this electrolyte. The an equivalent amount of that metal will go and deposit at the cathode. So where do we get the pure metal in the electrolytic refining? We get at the cathode. And the size of the cathode goes on increasing, the size of the anode goes on decreasing. See, for example, see here, this is the anode, this is the cathode. So in the anode, big size it will be and impurities. This is the thin sheet, and it is pure. Okay, this is cathode, this is anode. So what will happen on passing the electric current? In this impurity will dissolve in the electrolyte. Electrolyte will be there in the tank. So electrolytic solution will be there. So all this will go on dissolve. So in electrolyte, what all the dissolving impurities dissolve. Undissolved particles, that is sand, all those things will collect near the anode, that is called as anode mud. Because it is collecting near the anode, which is called as anode mud. Impure, that means an undissolved particle. Undissolved particle will get collect over here, dissolved impurities will dissolve here, and the pure metal will come and deposit over the cathode. This is the process of refining. Now let us pass on to the corrosion. Now let us pass on to the last part of this lesson, that is corrosion. So due to the pen problem, I have written, I don't know whether you can see or not. So I will explain. So this diagram is there in the textbook, you can see. Keep the textbook with you and then see the explanation. Okay. So here, what do you mean by corrosion? By giving the examples, I will explain the meaning of the corrosion. Example, let me take silver. After some days, silver becomes black in color. Okay, after using some days, silver chains will be there. So silver bracelet or silver rings will be there. After using, after some days, it turns into black color. What will happen? It reacts with the sulfur which present. It reacts with the air. That means that it reacts with sulfur in the air and it turns into black. Okay. So because of the reaction with the sulfur, that you have to remember. So then come to the copper. Copper also reacts with carbon dioxide present in the air. Copper reacts with carbon dioxide. Silver, sulfur. You have to remember, silver reacts with the sulfur present in the air and turns into black color. Copper reacts with carbon dioxide and turns into green color. You have to remember, you have to write like this and you have to memorize. Okay, so silver turns into black color because it reacts with the sulfur. Copper turns into green color. You have to remember the green color. Copper turns into green color. The green color of the copper is called copper carbonate because it reacts with the carbon dioxide present in the air. Then iron also becomes rusting of the iron, you know. So what do you mean by rust? If they ask, a brown flaky substance of the iron is called as a rust. Okay, brown flaky substance. So on the iron, after a few days, after using few days, the iron becomes what? A brown color and it will be flaky. So rough surface it will get and it loses the shining surface. So that is called rusting. So brown flaky substance is called rust. So iron after sometimes reacts with the air to become brown flaky substance and that is called as a rust. So and the process is called rusting, you can say. So here in this way it loses either the shining surface or it changes its color. Okay, some of the metal reacts with the air and loses its shining surface and turns its color or changes its color, and that process is called corrosion. So let us see what is so here is the experiment I have given about the rusting of iron. So how the iron is going to rust, what are the requirements here help to make the iron to get rust. So here let us see. So there are 3 test tubes. How many test tubes are there? 3 test tubes are there. So here they have taken water and that water nails. They have taken the nails. So some 3 to 4 nails they can take. You can take. So they have taken the test tube. Half of the test tube will be filled with the water. Another half air is there. So if you dip, half the nail will be dipped in the water and half portion should be in the air. Okay. Then here complete, here 3/4 of the test tube is filled with the boiled water. Boiled water, that means it becomes distilled water. So here there is no air. They have removed the air by boiling the water. Okay, here there is no air. So and it is completely dipped. This iron nail is completely dipped in the water, and here oil, one layer of the oil is also there. Okay. Then in the third one, what is there? Anhydrous calcium chloride is used. So this iron nail is dipped in the anhydrous calcium chloride, which acts as a drying agent. And here dry air is there. So what you have to understand is, here in this portion both water and air is present. Here in this test tube only water is there, there is no air. Okay, water is there, there is no air. Here air is there, but there is no moisture content. Okay, so in all the three test tubes, after sometimes if you observe in which test tube you are going to find the rusting of the iron. So you may guess in which test tube. So if you guess, thinking, or you might have come across when it is going to rust. So think it. So I will explain here. See here, in the first test tube, the iron nail is going to get rust. In other two test tube, iron is not getting rust. Why? What is the reason? Means to iron to become rust, it requires both water and air. Okay, so iron will get rust only in the presence of both air and moisture. Only if it gets air and there is no moisture, it will not get rust. And if it gets moisture content and there is no air also, it will not go to rust. Okay, this is rusting of iron. So to get rusting of the iron, it requires both water and air. So in the first test tube, the iron nail is rusted. Okay, so here it is not rusted. Why? Means here only water content is there, there is no air. Here air is there, but in that air moisture is not there. That's why. So both air and moisture content is required for rusting. Okay, so this is about the rusting and how to prevent the corrosion. This is very important. Which are the methods used to prevent corrosion? So here, for preventing the corrosion, usually we used to paint our grills, so or gate at the home or in the windows. We used to paint. So wherever we use irons, there we used to paint. So painting is nothing but it helps to prevent the iron from rusting. Okay, that is one method to prevent the iron from rusting. Okay, this is the first method. Then come to the next one, oiling or greasing, they will tell now. So if we put some oil, see here they have put the oil because no air is entering. So if you apply the oil, the air will not go to enter into that, so that it will not get rust. So by oiling, by greasing, by painting, and also by galvanizing. So what do you mean by galvanizing? Galvanizing is a process in which one layer of the zinc will be coated, zinc Zn. So one layer of the zinc will be coated on the iron so that it prevents the iron from rusting. Okay, galvanization, that is the process to prevent from rusting. What is galvanization? If they ask, you have to write. That is important. What is galvanization? So galvanization is the process to prevent the iron from rusting. Iron will be coated with the layer of zinc. That you have to write. You can make the sentence on your own. And alloying, by alloying also we can prevent the corrosion. These are the method of prevention of the corrosion. Okay, so rusting is also a type of the corrosion. So what is alloy? Alloy is nothing but a mixture of the metal with the other metal or metal with the non-metal. So suppose mercury is one of the metal in the alloy. If you have the alloy, in that alloy, if mercury is also one of the metal means, and that alloy is called as amalgam. So what is amalgam? If they ask, you have to write the alloy which contain the mercury as one of the metal, and that is called as amalgam. Okay, so the alloy which contains the mercury, it is called as amalgam. So these are the things you have to learn in this lesson, metals and non-metals. This is part 3. So you have to keep watching, continue learning and subscribe the channel. Thank you.